Guys, James Harden has been traded to the Rockets, and we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Hey guys, it's Ish, and today we're starting the first video of NBA short takes. To put it simply, we're going to be talking about stuff going on in the NBA that we wouldn't really be making in our super high quality videos. We only make 1 or 2 high quality videos a week, so we can't talk about everything going on in the NBA that we really want to talk about. However, with this series, we can talk about different things in the NBA, and you can get more of our opinions rather than stats alone. Basically, I'll just be talking and playing some highlights or pictures in the video, so just grab your earbuds and listen. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. So as of now, James Harden just got traded to the Nets 15 or 20 minutes ago, and that is as of writing the script. Not all the details are out, but there is enough for me to piece together something for y'all, so I hope you guys will enjoy it. Maybe by the evening or in a couple of days we could get all the information, so I might make an updated video if this video gets to 30 likes by the end of today. Anyway, let me just simplify this stuff real quick to make it easier to understand. Basically, this situation has 4 teams involved. The Nets got James Harden, the Rockets got 7 of the Nets' first round picks, yes, 7, and they also got Victor Oladipo from the Pacers as well. The Pacers got Karis LeVert in turn, while the Cavs got Taurean Prince as well as Jarrett Allen. So from the looks of it, the Nets traded LeVert to the Rockets as well as their draft picks, and I think the Pacers dished out Oladipo for LeVert. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, and don't even ask me where Cleveland comes into this trade, so I'm not going to even try and wrap my head around it because it's kind of confusing. Most of the news sources I've seen haven't exactly said anything about it, but if we get enough likes for the updated video, I'll definitely talk about it in the updated video. Now to the fun part. What do I think about this scenario? By the way, I'm making this script so early, most of these thoughts are just off the dome type, and my research isn't the closest and the best, but I want to get my raw opinion out to you guys. Anyway, let's just start with the Rockets. I for sure don't think they lost this trade like some people. If you take it at face value and see that they got Oladipo but traded away Harden, it looked like the Rockets got ripped off. But let's just look at this. First off, they got rid of Harden, who was a cancer to their team. Both John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins says they were upset with him, and Cousins said he was looking forward to playing with John Wall when he came to the Rockets. Now with Oladipo, who is a very humble player, I can see John Wall taking over the team with a solid big in Cousins and Christian Wood. They also have Victor Oladipo, who at the worst can get you 20 a game, and John Wall is a really good facilitator, so we can assume he will elevate their style of play and their team. Plus, let's look at this. They have their entire future set. Even if they are just playoff contenders now, rather than championship contenders like they used to be, they can build their team from scratch in the future. Oladipo is a great player, and I cannot stop rooting for John Wall because he's one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player. Okay, so the next team we have to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets. So the Nets have a confusing situation. I mean, they sealed their entire future again. They've gave away all their picks and a couple key players for their team for James Harden. The Nets had a very deep team before this trade, but now after this trade, I wouldn't go as far to say they're super shallow, but they aren't quite as good. My first opinions on it that the trade isn't terrible. I mean, I can't completely judge the Nets because this automatically means that they have a little higher chance of winning the finals. Of course, if Kyrie Irving and Harden are able to figure out a way to make a good rotation, then this would be an amazing trade for them. And that is probably what the Nets front office is betting on. In my opinion, though, it's going to take at least 20 games for the Nets to figure out how they can do this, or maybe 10 at the best. I mean, Kyrie Irving is having a sort of a problem that we really don't know about, and adding James Harden to the mix isn't exactly going to help. Let's first talk about the ceiling of this trade for them. Play on some Warriors dynasty level, really reach their ceiling, then they should cruise through the East and probably meet the Lakers, and who knows, they might even win. Is this very likely to happen? Probably not. Now let's look at the negative end of the spectrum. First off, the chemistry will probably be terrible. KD and Kyrie are both ball dominant players, but in their time on the court, they have figured something out. I think this is more because Kyrie plays up top, brings the ball down, while KD has the option to run near the baseline and post up more often. Also, KD and Kyrie are best bros, so they can honestly figure anything out together. Now, if we had Harden, perhaps the most ball dominant player in the league, then we are spelling out disaster disaster. Kyrie, who is already a pretty moody person, will not enjoy this, and Kyrie not enjoying this will make KD probably feel the same way. And I'm not saying I know what James Harden's personal situation is with Kyrie and KD, but I know that he isn't as close to them as KD and Kyrie are close to each other. Now, what will the Nets have to do to overcome this problem and achieve their ceiling like I mentioned above? For that, James Harden will have to ultimately change his style of play. He can't just play iso ball every possession, rather they should move the ball around the entire Nets team. I feel like so many players forget how ball movement is actually key to winning basketball games. I mean, the Warriors were great, but without their ball movement, they would have just been a good team. Atop that, to circulate touches to all your stars who no doubt want to have high stats, you have to pass. Now, I'm not talking about a pass where you dribble for 20 seconds, then pass it over for a 3 and you get an assist and you stat stuff that way. You have to pass the ball, move and get out of the way, and also get yourself open shots. KD is good at getting shots in the flow of the game while also hitting in ISO situations. Kyrie really isn't the best, but he still is learning. James Harden doesn't even know what flow of the game means. He just stops the ball and scores however he likes. Another thing the Nets have got to do is deal with Kyrie and KD. What do I mean by this? Well, think about it. Kyrie came to the Nets so he could play with KD. He never signed up to play with James Harden. KD at the same time not only came over for Kyrie, but he also wanted to win a championship while not being on a super team. And while playing with Kyrie, his team was amazing, no doubt. I wouldn't call it a super team though. Now with James Harden, a former MVP, and Kyrie Irving on the Nets, KD literally finds him in a Warriors type situation. So I'm trying to figure out how the Nets are going to handle this. In my opinion, they should try and play more like the OKC Thunder when Russ, KD, and Harden were all on a team. Harden should honestly take a step back, and I'm not saying he should be a bench player or a sixth man, but I think he should average around 24 or 20 points per game realistically. Kyrie needs to facilitate the ball better, and KD just needs to be KD. I mean, the dude is one of the best players in the league, and I don't want this trade in Kyrie Irving's drama to handicap him as a player. Speaking of the Kyrie Irving drama, that is a whole new NBA short takes video, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoy this format. Now until next time, it's Ish from TMB Productions, and I'll see you guys the next time you hop on YouTube.